Hey guys, welcome to the video. Welcome to Hog Shooter Hot Rods, and today we're going to use some of this good stuff. I don't know how many of you have any experience with Pour 15 out there, but it tells you right on the can, rust preventative, paint directly over rust. Yeah, and there's a lot of directions and stuff that go along with it. It does say on the bottom, and this is probably most important, it says, we know what permanent is. And they're not kidding. If you get this stuff on you, it will not wash off. You have to wear it off. Guys, as the time lapses have shown, I've been cleaning and sanding, wire brushing. You can see where I've welded this center into this roof on this all the way around. I mean, it's pretty cool, but it's pretty rusty up in here. And the spiders, you just can't get rid of the spiders. So what I'm going to be doing is coating with this Pour 15, and there won't be another spider left, and then all the nasty stuff will be gone. I don't have my long sleeve shirt on. I'm gonna make sure I have that on before I get ready, but here's our setup for the day here. Got our 3M PPS cup, so just disposable liners, because it's just nasty stuff. So we're gonna open it up, or see if it'll open up. One tip I have for you, once you open this can, if you have to reseal that can, put a thin piece of plastic down and put the lid in it, because it will actually bond the metal surfaces together, and the next time you go to open that can, it's history. So let's get our handy Kershaw can opener out. We'll open her up here, if it will. So I hope you guys are doing all right today. That camera's where I want it. We're trying to get some stuff done. It's supposed to rain for several days, and we need to get the metal protected on the old 35 here. Come on. Yep. This is kind of the experience I've had with this stuff before. All right, so yeah, had to kind of chew the can up to get it apart, but it did come apart. Now we're gonna dump. And I've already agitated this on a paint shaker for like a day and a half or 20 minutes just to make sure it was really stirred up good. And I'm gonna try to wipe all that out of there. And don't do this, guys. Don't do it. I'm telling you. You'll never get that lid back out of there. I don't think it's even going to seal up the second time. So here we go. Put that on. Yeah. So when you use these, this is their old style cup, or you're using Chinese version of these. Make sure when you put that in there that that is sealed up completely, or you will have a huge mess all over your hands. You know, when you go to the range, everybody always asks you what gun you're shooting and everything. So here we go today. We've got the Sedan KLC. This is actually a primer gun with a 1.7 size tip on it, and this .415 is pretty thick, so you can see she sprays a nice pattern. Probably shouldn't have sprayed it right there, because that's where I'm going to need to kneel down here in a minute. I'll have paint all over my pants. Dang it. it is the next day, and as you can see, the inside of this old car body is all done up with POR 15 now. Got a bunch of runs. I mean, it doesn't matter. The stuff really makes a nice, pretty, shiny black finish, and it is some super hard stuff. So I did get it all down inside of these places as best I could. My next step is going to be to take in the bottom of this area. There's a cavity. The very back along here is a giant cavity. I'm going to take those and I'm going to put some tape in behind it. I'm going to fill this area here and along the back there with the 2-part 3M foam. I'm going to go in and seam seal areas that need that, just to make this thing waterproof. Then we'll go back and we'll put some of the kill mat inside of this body, and that's pretty much where it's going to stop for a while. I'm going to run all the wiring inside of the car, and we're going to drop it down in the very back there to go to the fuel tank and to the tail lights, and then split it off from there just to keep our wiring neat so it's not all up under the car on the frame. You can see everything on it. It all got POR 15. This is the only piece of wood left in the inner structure there. And I think I'm just going to leave it there for eternity, just because, you know, 1935 Standard, I believe, was the last car that Chevrolet put that wood structure in. And you can see I've got some roof bows. These all came out of late 90s Suburban. They fit in there pretty good. I've got one up at the very front I'm going to put in. The rest of this stuff's all fabricated out of 1-inch and 1.5-inch square tubing. I built cages here to go around my windows, so they're all encased and pretty stout. Then everything is gusseted and welded in back there, and I have these 2 pieces coming forward into the B-pillar to make it nice and sturdy. All of my sheet metal work or metal work that's flat is all built out of either 1/8 inch or 16 gauge steel, so it's nice and heavy. I was able to save all of the sub rails for the original floor. They actually weren't that bad, so I have them done. We just had to get rid of all the wood. It was in really bad shape, and I don't know, it's 6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other of doing this back with wood or metal. The wood might be nicer to be able to nail upholstery to, but it always seems like you're adjusting, tweaking those wood pieces. So we're not having any more wood in the car. It's all going to be metal, and we got it protected. So the next steps are to get that foam in here. Guys, we're back inside of the body of the 35, and you can see I've put purple tape, because it's vinyl, it's not paper, all around the gap that goes in between the body and the floorboard. I've also got it down inside of here on both sides so that that will hold. And this is the 3M foam that I'm going to be using. It's noise, vibration, and harmonic dampening. You got to get everything ready because this stuff, it foams in 10 seconds. It's completely done by 40 seconds. So there's not time to play around. We got to get it in there and get it done. Every time we put one of these mixing tips on, at 40 seconds, this deal's toast. As long as you keep pumping foam, they'll stay good. But once that stuff starts to expand, this tip's junk. So we've got to get it hooked up and move pretty quick here. I think I've got just a partial cartridge. You can see inside it's maybe 3/4 of one here. I've got another partial cartridge in my shop, so I'm going to get all this foamed up, and we'll just set you guys back and let you watch. So yeah, I mean, you saw that stuff. It expands really quick. It's completely different from construction grade. I've got another video where I talk a little bit more about it on the Fiat build series, but this was actually a piece of a cartridge that was left over from working on that Fiat. I like to use this particular foam because it doesn't just keep expanding. It won't mess up your sheet metal work on the outside of the car. And it's supposed to be less moisture absorbent than like construction foam or something like that. That's completely the wrong stuff to use in an auto body application. This should seal this car up pretty well, at least the big gaps, eliminate the rear of that body. I mean, that whole back of that is now kind of glued together with the floor, but it also is able to give. You know, when I say I'm using partial cartridges, this is a piece out of one of those cartridges where one side of the product was starting to get hard, and luckily it popped out of there and everything's okay. I was able to use the rest of that cartridge, but it was almost to the point where it was going to ruin that entire cartridge. And many guys will stop and not use this stuff because it is expensive. Each one of those cartridges is about $45. So I like to use it. I think that it is the best option for doing any kind of foam filling in an automotive application. Unless you're doing used car work and you're just trying to fill up some rust holes, then by all means get the great stuff. But I did leave a gap. Man, this body, that's scary. I left a gap right here, and that is so I can run all my wiring down the driver's side, come out. I've already mentioned taillight wires, fuel gauge, and anything else that I need to run out of the car wiring wise. I'll be able to come out on this side and get it out of there. And you can see, I mean, this stuff, it's already set up, but it's not super hard, it's flexible. Got a little carried away in the beginning, overfilled, but my interior panels I figure will come down, and that's not going to be a problem just to leave that like that. Yeah, so the inside of the body now has rust protection and it's sealed up from the outside elements. All we have to do is finish mounting the fuel tank, hooking up the fuel line, and getting the brake lines completed on the chassis, and we'll be able to put the body back on the frame on this car. And you know, one step closer. So hey, if you like my videos, give them a thumbs up. Like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate all of you guys that have subscribed and are watching the videos. Just tell me what I'm doing good and tell me what I need to improve on. And as usual, we'll catch you on the next one.